This is David from the Paranormal Sessions podcast. It's coming up almost at 5 a.m. I've been awake since 3:30 a.m. Of course, that's due to evil, but luckily I've been sleeping pretty regularly, so this one time doesn't really bother me. So I had kind of an unusual week. Since I had mentioned that I was going to be helping people, connect to deceased loved ones, I'm starting to get flashes of like almost just like a picture, and they're mostly elderly people, but and it's odd when I've seen, um, the spirits, it's deceased loved ones. They always show that they're uh, facing uh, perpendicular to me, and like with evil, they're always facing me head on because, of course, they want to harass and or intimidate me. But I've been seeing more of these elderly people recently, which normally I would see like one or two like every maybe couple weeks. So I assume that they know that I'm going to try to help connect to their to their families or brothers, whoever the case might be, which is kind of nice. So that you know because like I said, the good spirits, they're all around you too, just like evil, unfortunately. But the really strange thing, well, I'm sorry, let me add on one more thing. I've been seeing, with the elderly people, I've been seeing like the evil spirits, but they're showing their faces more. I guess the best way to describe it is grotesque. But there's only so many ways you can deform your face and all that to try to scare me or whatever. And when I see them, I'll look at them for like 1 or 2 seconds, and then when they know it's not affecting me, they just disappear. But I'm seeing that a little bit more too, so I'm sure it's because I'm trying to help people reach out to their deceased loved ones, and of course evil doesn't like that. Well, they don't like anything, but I've been seeing more of that too. But that's I've seen that so many times. It's like I said, I'm pretty much desensitized. But I had kind of an unusual experience which I've never had before, and that's why I've always said I never say never, because you never know what's going to happen. So I go see my doctor for a checkup, and they're going to be moving, so you usually have to wait in the little waiting room for a little while, because most doctors are running behind. So I'm sitting in the chair, and I happen to look up at the ceiling, and there looked like that there was a leak or something at one time, because you could see like those, I don't know, like foam tiles that that hang down, and you could tell there was some water on there. So I didn't think anything else about it. So I'm still just looking around, just trying to kill some time. So then for whatever reason, I go back to looking at the tile, or the part that's got the water damage. Because it gets that kind of like dirty rust color or whatever it is. So as I'm looking at it, all of a sudden I see it like expand and contract, and I kind of think for a second. I go, maybe I'm tired or something or whatever. I go, because it's an inanimate object. How's it going to expand and contract unless it's leaking at that time, which of course it wasn't. So I go back up and I look at it again, and I start focusing on it. And after maybe 30 seconds, it would like expand and then contract. And I go, there's no way that this tile on its own is going to expand and contract. There's something within the tiles. And then I start thinking, and because then I saw it a third time, I go, well, I'm not, seeing something that's not there. I can actually see it. So the only thing that would make sense, and it has to be like good spirits up there in the ceiling. That's the only thing I can think of, because it wouldn't be evil, because I can sense when evil's around me. I can tell there's something not right, but everything was fine in that waiting room. But I had never seen that before, because I thought the first time, I thought, well, I'm seeing things, I'm just kind of tired. But it would like expand just a little and then contract. And then the second time did that, again, then on the third time. So the only thing that would make sense is that there was a good spirit there, because it wasn't evil. Because if it was, I'd be able to pick up on it, that there's, something they're trying to come after me. But I had never seen that before, and that's the only thing that would make sense because, ceiling tile is not going to expand and contract. Or I mean, if it gets water damage, it will expand and then eventually contract, but it doesn't do it within like 20 seconds where it'll expand and contract. So I go, that's the only thing that makes sense, is that there was a spirit within that tile. And so when me thinking that they're actually expanding, contracting, I think they're actually moving within the tile, which, I assume that's possible. I mean, I don't, there's a lot I've seen, but it doesn't mean I've seen everything. So it had to be something moving within the tile, because how could it expand and contract right in front of me 3 separate times? So, and I didn't feel anything, ominous around me or evil. So it had to be a good spirit. But I've never seen that before, and I'll probably never see it again. But I didn't even know if I should mention it because it was such a bizarre thing to see. Because the first time I just thought, okay, maybe I'm tired or something. And then I saw it a second time. And then a third time I go, no, that's not me seeing things. It's actually expanding and contracting. I go, but it's not actually. It's something moving within the tile itself. So, that was a good feeling, especially when I'm going to see my doctor. But, I've never seen that happen before. And I doubt I'll ever see it again. But it was a strange but positive experience. And I don't know if it's all related, because now I'm seeing, snapshots of, the elderly. And it's odd that they never face me. When I see a flash of them, it's always they're looking, perpendicular to me, which is odd. So I don't know, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be on the other side. I don't know. I've never really dug deep into that about how they show themselves. But I just thought I would mention that, especially with the tiles, because that was bizarre. And that was the only thing I could come to a conclusion of, that there was a good spirit within that tile moving. Hopefully to check on me. I appreciate any help I can get, but I didn't even know if I should mention it. But I thought, 3 separate times I see the same thing. There's got to be something within that tile, and I know it wasn't the tile itself expanding and contracting, but I thought I would mention that because, from my perspective, it was a good experience. Or probably, that type of experience will probably never have it again. But I thought I would mention it. But I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks.